The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson, is now out on the big screen for you guys to go and check out. This is the latest Batman film that we've all been waiting for that has had delays. I've gone and saw it. I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on this one. Let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of this movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down below. Smash that like button for me and click subscribe as well so you don't miss any more videos. And let's get into this review of The Batman. Okay, so The Batman is finally here. It's finally done and dusted. I've seen it. And I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts right now. This was my second most anticipated film of the year. I have been waiting for this for so long. I have been saying that Robert Pattinson is a good choice for Batman. He's a really good actor, and I think he's going to bring a massive presence to the role and new sort of take on Bruce Wayne and Batman. And then we couldn't get the Ben Affleck Batman, but hey, you get in Matt Reeves, who did Planet of the Apes trilogy. Like, come on, man, you couldn't have asked for anyone better. The trailers came out, they looked absolutely stunning. It was the Hype Central train coming through the station. We're all hopping on board, and now I've seen it. So what did I think? I'm going to tell you guys right now. This movie did not disappoint me at all. I was absolutely amazed at what Matt Reeves was able to do with Batman. Like, this is just incredible. Anyone that has anything to say about comic book movies and saying that they're not cinema, that they are just there just to make money, this movie, The Batman, is not anything like we've seen before in a comic book movie. This is as realistic and as cinematic you could get for a comic book movie. There is very little comic book elements that you see from like a Marvel movie, from the DCEU, that are in this. This is even more grounded in reality than the Nolan trilogy is. It's absolutely just incredible what Matt Reeves was able to do. And there are so many elements in this film that are just absolutely stunning. So, firstly, I want to talk about that I have been wanting a dark Batman for so long. Like, I'm talking, I've wanted to see this Batman just be vicious, ferocious. I want to see Gotham in this dark, gritty town, city that is filled with crime, while Gotham is also a character itself. This movie pushes that boundary of a PG-13 to the absolute max. Like, they have pushed this to the extreme. I don't know. The only reason why I think this is PG-13 is because of the name Batman. If you strip Batman away from this, this is pushing MA to R. It is pushing up there because some of the stuff that happens in here is very much MA R-rated-esque. There are moments in this movie when the Riddler is doing certain things to people that even my wife, when she was watching, said to me, this is kind of like Saw. Like, that's Saw right there. And there are moments like that. What Riddler does when he murders people is ferocious, is vicious. When Batman is beating down someone, because this is year 2 Batman, he's not a polished Batman. His strikes are ferocious. He's full of rage. That's what I was waiting to see from a Batman movie, and I got it. So I cannot complain about how dark it is. It is just, this is a Batman made for adults, and that's all I wanted. I wanted to see a Batman that was made for us in a realistic world, and Matt Reeves delivered on that. The characters and relationships are unbelievably good. The relationship between Catwoman and Batman is enough to get you interested in it, but it's not enough to be like that love interest and that just came out of nowhere. Which is what you need to juggle with these type of movies, because how many times have we seen relationships in movies being forced together, like Thor and Jane, for instance? That just didn't mesh, and there was no chemistry, there was nothing there. It just didn't feel authentic. This one feels like it's an authentic one where they have an attraction towards each other, but they don't it's not overpowering and doesn't take over the movie and become a love drama, which I like about that. The relationship with Gordon and Batman is one of my favorites in this movie. It is so good how they work as a tandem with each other, trying to solve everything. They trust each other. That whole relationship was just Batman and Gordon. It was Batman and Gordon. It was so good. And Jeffrey Wright was absolutely fantastic as Gordon, Jim Gordon. I think he was the perfect casting choice, and he's just so good. And when Batman's not on screen and he's on screen, it's okay because you're so invested in him because he's still in such a great performance. The writing for his character is so great. You're invested in him as well. So when Batman's not there, you aren't missing him. That is incredible and it's awesome. And I'm so excited to see what they're going to do with this Jim Gordon moving forward now. The Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Alfred relationship is so incredibly good in this movie. And there is a particular moment where Bruce finds out some things, as we see in the trailer, where he says, "You lied to me." That whole scene with Alfred and Bruce was just so heartwarming. And just, you could feel the tension in there when they're talking about that. And then you could feel just how much Alfred means to Bruce and how much Bruce meant to Alfred. It was just so great. And the performance of Robert Pattinson in that moment at Andy Serkis was just so incredibly great. This is what we've been missing in these sort of comic book movies, is these relationships and developing the characters. And that's what I like about this movie a lot. Batman has this fantastic character arc as well throughout this movie. And in the end, the payoff to that character arc, to me, was just incredible. And I ate it up. From what he was trying to do with the city to how he views it at the end and goes, that's not what the city needs. This is what the city needs. And he goes through this beautiful character arc. It's just incredible. Like, Robert Pattinson nailed this. He is fantastic as Bruce Wayne. He's fantastic as Batman. And what I like is his voice isn't overpowering. It's not really deep, but it's like still menacing. It's so good. He's so good as Batman. And any doubters who thought Robert Pattinson couldn't be Batman, I told you all, and a lot of us told you, Robert Pattinson is a fantastic actor. If you're just going based on Twilight, then you have no idea what you're talking about because you need to watch his other movies, because he is a fantastic Batman. Paul Dano as Riddler. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. He brought that character to life. I love what Matt Reeves did with his character. And the story that they tried to tell with his character was fantastic. Because the Riddler isn't a physical threat to Batman. He's not a physical threat. He's not Bane. He's not anything like that, Ra's al Ghul, anything like that. So you need to devise a story where he's not fighting Batman physically, but he's fighting Batman mentally. And that's what Matt Reeves did here. It's a crime investigation movie. That's what it is. It's a crime thriller. We're watching Batman investigate the whole entire movie. He only meets the Riddler at the end, face to face, and there's no fight between them. But that's what's so smart about this film is you have a character like Riddler, you can't have him go toe to toe. So Matt Reeves comes up with this beautiful investigation storyline of Batman trying to put the pieces together as we really investigate how good Batman is at being a detective. And that was incredible, and that made it fresh, it made it unique, and made it different. Penguin was great. Colin Farrell, still can't believe it's him. He looked good. Falcone was great. Gotham itself felt like a character in this movie as well, which is always great when you can do that. It's absolutely brilliant. The story was great as well. I love the little connective dots that Matt Reeves had to everyone. How it connected to Falcone, how it connected to Batman, how it connected to Riddler, how it connected to the police department. I just love all that stuff, and it was just incredible. If you're into the technical stuff as well, this movie is incredible when it comes to that. The sound design is absolutely top tier. When he starts that Batmobile up, oh my god, That reminded me of Ford v Ferrari and its sound design. It sounded freaking incredible. It sounded so good, and when you're sitting there, you're just immersed in it. The bikes, everything from all the sound was just incredible. Perfect. The cinematography is fantastic in this movie. It is fantastic, and some of the shots and camera work that Matt Reeves was coming up with was just absolutely brilliant. As you saw in the trailer, when Batman's walking after the car, when he flips Penguin, I love how he shot that scene. I love how he shot that whole car chase. That whole car chase is incredible. He shot that brilliantly. There is so many good moments where we're sitting there and the camera work is just so unique and so awesome, where other people might not have done that, and it just gave it this extra flavor. It gave this extra zest that you were looking for, that just doesn't make it a generic Batman film. Absolutely fantastic. The score is incredible. I love this score so much. The Batman theme is so freaking good in this movie. From all the cues, the score cues throughout this film are freaking incredible. It's so good. Matt Reeves nailed the Batman. My only criticism for this film is I can understand why certain people would say that this is too long. I can see that. I can understand. We meet the Riddler, and when that tension is broken from that, you still have 40 minutes to go. So I understand why some people would say that this is too long. I 100% get that and totally understand that. But for me, I had an absolute ball. I love this film so much. Is this my favorite comic book movie of all time? It's definitely up there. I need to see the second time to make that decision, because there might be some things I missed. But overall, I absolutely love the Batman. It was everything I wanted and more. Did not disappoint, which is awesome. And I'm super excited now for what Matt Reeves is going to do. Just give him like 10 films. Just give him 10 films. He nailed this. I'm so excited. There is a tease for a character, which I'm predicting is going to be in the second Batman movie. So look out for that as well. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the Batman. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down below. Smash that like button for me. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.